Welcome to the update. I'm Matt de Groot. Cricketer Usman Khawaja says the behaviour of English fans was unwarranted and unacceptable after Australia's 43-run win in the second Ashes Test at Lords. The Aussies were abused in the long room, with reports some were even tripped as they walked into lunch following the controversial dismissal of Johnny Bairstow.
If anyone asks me where the best places to play, I always say Lords. The crowd is great. Particularly the members are great. But some of the stuff that was coming out of the members' mouth was really disappointing, and I wasn't just going to stand by and cop it.
As a result, 3 members of the MCC have been suspended. 2 men have been charged with trying to smuggle millions of dollars of drugs into Australia, concealed inside vans. Border Force officials say they found 84 kilos of ketamine in false compartments in 2 vehicles. Australian Border Force Acting Commander Mal Nimmo says they'll continue to crack down on the international illicit drug trade.
It's incredible to think that those behind this importation were audacious enough to think that they could get away with it. The ABF, in collaboration with our partner agencies, will continue to structure efforts in deterring, detecting and disrupting those who seek to import harmful drugs into Australia.
Experts are predicting more pain for mortgage holders this month as the Reserve Bank prepares to meet tomorrow. The RBA board will meet in Sydney to decide whether the current 4.1% rate needs to rise. Financial expert Mark Burris, speaking on his Instagram account, predicting another hike.
I'm going to say there's going to be a rate hike. And the only reason I say it is because Michelle Bullock's paper out last Tuesday talked about unemployment at 4.5%.
It's hoped a new national anti-scam centre will help detect and disrupt criminals much more quickly. The task force includes experts from banks, telcos and digital industries. Financial Services Minister Stephen Jones says real-time information sharing is a critical tool.
If there's a gang out there targeting one victim, they'll also be going for hundreds of others as well. So disruption, education and information sharing, but also providing more support to victims.
Residents and guests of the Q1 building on the Gold Coast have returned to their apartments after a fire forced a full evacuation this morning. The blaze in Australia's tallest building broke out in a rubbish chute, sending smoke up its 78 floors. Queensland Ambulance Service Senior Operations Supervisor Kerry Strong says they've treated 17 people, from babies to people in their 80s.
We've had a combination of smoke inhalation and also pre-existing medical conditions being exacerbated by that smoke, and we've also had a minor trauma with a young male who unfortunately fell in the firewell.
King Charles, meantime, will meet US President Joe Biden at Windsor Castle this week. It'll be the first time the pair have met since Charles was crowned king. Sport and entertainment are next. Supercars driver Shane Van Gisbergen has committed to his final year of driving in Australia despite winning his debut NASCAR race in Chicago.
You know, the fans in Australia and New Zealand, the response this week and the coverage has been... I can't explain it, like the response and the support I've got from everyone, and even over here how welcoming everyone is. I can't believe it. Dream come true.
Van Gisbergen winning the race in Chicago. He becomes the first driver in 60 years to win on debut in NASCAR. Penrith Rugby League 5'8" Jerome Luai has been dropped from the Blues origin side and replaced by Cody Walker. It's one of 7 changes made by Brad Fittler, hoping to avoid a series sweep. The Maroons have brought in fullback AJ Brimson and Corey Horsburgh to an otherwise unchanged lineup. Billy Slater says Horsburgh has had an impressive year for Canberra.
There was a reason why Corey was in the squad in Game 2. He's been impressive through the first half of the season and built some really good habits in his game. You can tell when players have a great off-season, and Corey's one of those guys. Built a great base to his fitness levels, regularly plays 70 minutes straight.
Nick Kyrgios has withdrawn from Wimbledon just hours from the start of the major due to his ongoing wrist struggles, and Patty Mills is reportedly being traded by the Brooklyn Nets to Oklahoma City. Entertainment, and Tom Cruise is in Sydney at Darling Harbour to meet with fans ahead of tonight's Australian premiere of his new Mission Impossible movie, Dead Reckoning Part 1. And Matt Damon and his wife are living their best A-list lives in Mykonos. They've enjoyed a Greek getaway with Aussie stars Chris and Liam Hemsworth, the stars' friendship dating back more than a decade. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcast news team. We'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of The Update.